All right, welcome back. There is a pattern that I see in coaches and consultants, in small business owners as a whole, certainly the service-based business owners, that stops them getting the results that they want. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about what that is and hopefully change the way that you think about it as well. So I've just hopped off a call with one of my brilliant clients. I won't say her name. And she's stuck at the moment. She's finding things really, really tough. She's not getting the number of leads that she wants. She's not getting the number of clients that she wants. And I know a lot of people are in a similar boat. You may be as well. So we broke this down into a few things. We started speaking about her offer. Then we spoke about her content. Then we spoke about her conversations that she was having, and ultimately her leads as well. All right. Now, the first thing, interestingly enough, and this is the pattern that I'm seeing, the first thing that she brought up wasn't any of these. It was just one word. And that word is clarity. That is the thing that she hasn't got, or that she thinks she hasn't got. So when people present this stuff to me, I actually try and apply it and say, you've not got clarity about what? Clarity of the offer, clarity on what to speak about in your marketing, clarity on who to speak to, clarity on the journey, all these different things, right? But I didn't get too tactical to begin with. So I asked her, first and foremost, I said, what's the offer? And she said it out loud in one go, nailed it. Just one sentence. It named the audience. It named the outcome. It named the time frame in which she did it. It didn't name the mechanism. Not a big issue. So the offer, as far as I was concerned, is a good enough sentence to put in front of her target market to get them to go, ooh, sounds interesting, which is all an offer needs to do. You know, it's a hook. It's a marketing hook to get more interest. So I said, well, what's not clear? And she said, well, I've been speaking to a few people and they just don't get it. And I said, all right, who are these people? And they were basically competitors and other people that have been DMing her trying to fucking sell her copywriting or coaching to improve the offer, right? Which is, you know, it's funny in itself. Also ironic. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, to me, it sounds good. Have you got clients off the back of it? Yes. Okay, so there's some validation in the words and the statement that you're using, and also in the delivery model and all these other things. They're working, just not working as well as they could. She's like, yeah, that's because I'm stuck. How do I get unstuck? All right, so we'll talk about how this plays out into content and leads in a sec, but how you become unstuck is what I'm about to show you first. Now, most people are waiting for this to then act, to then go and build all this stuff out. And don't get me wrong, being very clear in what you do and very clear in how you do it and when you do it and the steps that you follow is the game changer. But you're not going to arrive at this point too early on in your life or your business journey, okay? There are things that you have to do first. So I think the problem is this. Clever people really struggle. And they struggle because they need to have everything lined up, all the I's dotted, all the T's crossed before, there we go, before they can actually do the thing that they need to do. And what this does, imagine like we look at a progress chart. You go like that, and there's a lot of ups and downs. They're trying to get to a point where everything is, or maybe even up from the beginning. They're not willing to go out and actually speak to people or do whatever they need to do and fail for a bit and come down here. But ultimately, the second stage in this, which is actually the first, is action. You need to go and do the thing first. A lot of people think that you get clarity and then you act, all right? They think that having clarity or not having clarity is a blocker for the action. But the whole point of this video is to tell you that it's the other way around. Not taking the action is actually a blocker for the clarity. So the way that this works is we start here. We start with action. And yes, we do want to have a bit of clarity, but it's almost might be like slightly educated guesswork. We need to plant our flag in the sand or throw our hat in the ring and be able to do something and back ourselves, essentially. So we don't need to worry about getting all this shit right. Maybe we just need one or two. And we go, right, I've got a basic idea. Let's just throw some darts at a dartboard that I can't fully see and see if any of them land. And some of them will. And once you take the action, you basically get data, or if you want to call it feedback. Okay? And then, guess what happens? Because you've got this, you then become clearer. But most people are trying to act without the data. So it's very hard to be clear on something if you can't logically make sense of it or justify it. So we need data and feedback on our market, from our market and on the thing that we sell to be able to get the clarity. So this is actually the third step. We've got step number 1 and then step number 2 first. And you can't have the clarity without the data, but you can't have the data without the action. And that's exactly why we've sort of structured our program in a very different way to how we used to, and a very different way to how our competitors do it. We're out the gate straight away now. We push people to take action as fast as possible after doing a couple of very simple exercises, mainly down to identity and offer building. And we help them build the first draft of their offer in less than 2 hours. 2 hours of coming into our program, you'll have a first draft of your offer with all the 6 Ps. So you've got the people you sell to, you then got the problems that they have, you've got the phases or the journey that you take them on, you've got the parts that you sell to them, so the deliverables, then price, and then we wrap it all up in a promise. You'll have that. If you ever work with us, you'll have that first draft. So I kind of guess I've said all that needs to be said. I'll try and summarize this bottom bit quickly. I've got a load of shit I need to do. I shouldn't even be filming this video, to be fair. I'm so busy. But they wait for this. They wait for the clarity on this, which stalls the action on these things, and also stalls the action on failures as well. Did legs at the gym today. It hurts to bend down. So if they get stuck here, like, oh, what do I sell? Who do I sell it to? We all have a bit of an idea of what we want to do and who we want to sell it to, and is it going to be viable for us? We just need to do these things in order to get the data. And then when we have the data, we have clarity, and we can change this. Everyone thinks that it's tattooed to the fucking forehead, or you sign in your offer in your kid's blood or something. No. All right? We go out, we take fast action, then people go, yes, that's brilliant, or they go, no. We need to do this a lot of times. You need lots of reps here to be able to go, right, this is a really good thing, this is a really bad thing, let's change this, let's keep this. What that is either addition or subtraction from the thing that you've taken action with, and addition and subtraction equals clarity. Anyway, if you want to see how we help people unblock these things, and also want to do it during school hours, I've just put together a free training that you can go and watch. You can grab it underneath. It's called the School Hours Model. It's how we help coaches and consultants make 5 figures using organic content, primarily on LinkedIn, Instagram, email maybe, in school hours only. Working school hours every single day.